Two high school cheerleaders was killed in Louisiana on New Year's Eve after a Baton Rouge area police officer allegedly crashed his squad car in their vehicle during a high-speed chase. Hey guys, I'm Lady T and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me for another crime news story.
Where hundreds packed the football field here, all to honor the memory of students Maggie Dunn and Caroline Gill. The pair and Maggie's older brother Liam, who's in bad shape at the hospital, were innocent bystanders during that police pursuit stretching through multiple parishes over the weekend. Last night was the first step in what's going to be a long grieving process for the Bruley High School community.
Been a nightmare that you haven't woken up from. Like, it seems unreal every day. Wait, this cannot be happening here. They're two wonderful girls, and the fact that we will never see their smiling faces again on the squad is just devastating.
David Cauthron, age 42, stand accused of 2 counts of negligent homicide and 1 count of negligent injury over the highway deaths of 17-year-old Maggie Dunn and 16-year-old Caroline Gill. The girls attended Bruley High School, where they cheer for the Panthers. Dunn was a junior and Gill was a sophomore. As we mourn the tragic deaths of Maggie Dunn and Caroline Gill, please keep their family, friends, and the BHS community in your thoughts and prayers, a statement posted on the cheerleading team's Facebook page says. Their enthusiasm and bright smiles will be missed more than you can imagine. Cauthron previously worked for the Point Coupe Parish Sheriff's Office. He joined Addis Police Department in February 2022. That cop have a lot of questions to be answered pertaining to the speed and sheer negligence, District Attorney Tony Clayton said.
I find this to be just horrible. So I want to know why and under what theory he was operating under that he felt that he had to blow through several red lights and end up endangering human life.
District Attorney Tony Clayton says he wants to know more about what led to the Addis police officer to join in on the pursuit. Tonight, Clayton says a grand jury will investigate the evidence in the case, including the Addis police officer who is currently on administrative leave.
To celebrate this new year with my family, and for those families not to be able to celebrate it with those kids, it's just despicable. And whoever will be held accountable for it will be held accountable for it.
It's reported that the defendant's GPS inside the police unit showed that he was traveling at roughly 86 miles per hour and that he failed to hit the brakes before striking the vehicle carrying the 2 girls and one of the victim's brother. Witnesses said that Cauthron ran a red light just before impact, a light that had been red for 20 seconds prior to the incident. Sirens and police vehicles only give an officer permission to request a cut through a red light, District Attorney Tony Clayton said. You must slow down or come to a complete stop when human life is in danger. Radio travel faster than the car. The officer could have just radio ahead that the suspect car was coming. The fatal crash occurred just before 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, December 31st, 2022, in the tiny town of Bruley, due north and just minutes across the Mississippi River from Baton Rouge, where the chase began. According to reports, the ABD unit T-boned the teenager's vehicle as it was turning into Louisiana State Highway 1. During the crash, the police vehicle slammed into the victim's vehicle so hard that the second automobile was pushed into the median of the highway. Maggie's Dunn brother, University of Louisiana at Lafayette student Liam Dunn, was also in the girl's vehicle. He was seriously injured in the crash and is listed in critical condition. The pursuit began when officers in Baton Rouge attempted to effectuate a traffic stop on Tyquel Zanders, who's 24 years old, who is accused of stealing his father's vehicle. Police alleged that the suspect ran multiple red lights and accelerated upward to 80 miles per hour on Government Street before reaching speeds of 110 miles per hour on Interstate 10. He put the chain of events into play, District Attorney Clayton said, referring to Zanders. He's responsible for all the reaction to his action. He's facing 2 counts, and if the poor kid doesn't survive, he'll face another. According to reports, East Baton Rouge Parish officers was called off the chase after the wanted car traveled across the Mississippi River Bridge into the West Baton Rouge Parish. As Cauthron Gill careened into the teenager's car in front of J.W. Food Mart on Vaughn Drive, the suspect continued driving. He was eventually apprehended as he crossed the Mississippi River Bridge back into Baton Rouge when his car stalled. Zanders is now facing charges of manslaughter, theft of a motor vehicle, home invasion, and aggravated flight from a police officer. Cauthron is currently being detained in the West Baton Rouge Parish Detention Center on $100,000 bond. Their lives were just getting started. How devastating this is for their families. You know, it was very hard for me to get through this story. My heart goes out to their parents. Oh man. I mean, they won't get the opportunity to see them go to the prom, graduate from high school, go to college, eventually get married, start their own family. They won't get grandkids from there. Just sad. Lord, I just don't understand these high-speed chases. If the pursuit can impact innocent lives, call it off. When I started my YouTube channel, one of the first stories that I covered was this husband and father of two that was killed. The officer was pursuing someone in a high-speed chase. She lost control of the car when she was driving around the curve, and she hit the husband, father of two. Now, she wasn't charged, but she, along with the city, was sued by the man's family. Another story that I covered over the summer was a mother and her two adult children that was killed by an officer that was responding to an emergency call. The officer was traveling at a high speed, didn't have her sirens on, merged onto the major highway and hit the mother and her two daughters. The mother and the two daughters did die, and a week before their death, the youngest daughter actually graduated from college with a criminal justice degree. The officer was charged with their murder. A few years ago, my sister, who was actually pregnant at the time, was traveling back home. She got sandwiched in this high-speed chase somehow. The guy that they was chasing hit her, and during that time, she had owned a Nissan Rogue. He hit her car, and the SUV flipped. Now, my sister did have to stay in the hospital for like a day or two, but they came out okay. Sometimes these police chases is just not worth it. I understand pursuing and apprehending a criminal, but ultimately all the other innocent lives on the road are put to danger when stuff like this happens. You chasing some punk over a home invasion, but end up colliding with a vehicle carrying 3 teens, killing 2 of the girls, and seriously injuring one of the girls' brother. Now families are left shattered and trying to put pieces together at the dawn of a new year. I mean, was this all worth it? It's crazy that they insisted on chasing that car when they knew who the car belonged to, they knew it was a family member, and they knew who the driver was. This was gross negligence and a cowboy tactic that have to stop. Now, many states have outlawed high-speed chases in circumstances like this where the cops simply want to find an excuse to drive like a crazy driver, like a NASCAR driver. Usually when they cross lines like that, you radio ahead to the other cops so they can take over and continue. I mean, this whole thing was just reckless. As an officer of law, you have to use better judgment and be held at a higher standard. The crime committed didn't warrant a high-speed chase. If he was armed and dangerous and was a threat to those around him, that would be a whole different story. I hate that this happened, and most definitely could have been avoided if the officer would have tried not to be super cop. Alright guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this story, so let's continue the conversation in the comment section. And as always, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And thanks for watching.